Keating, Black and Lappin in there for the Brisbane Lions as we get underway this round 9 clash at Subiaco. Keating, dominant fist down to Power and Lappin. It was smooth out of the middle the first time round for the Brisbane Lions. McGrath, hands off to Black. Could be the dream start for the Brisbane Lions. Black just misses to the left. It wasn't that silky smooth coming out of the centre.
Talking about being silky smooth, there's this guy that is the captain of their side, Voss. He just is an amazing sort of player. He just does things you didn't see in that area, but he just backhands the football. He's just very, very clever and close.
Got it off to McGrath beautifully. Hadrill goes long. Polak a target there. Ackermanis fisted inside 50. Cook to tidy up for the Dockers. Now to Woods. By hand over the top to Carr. He's confronted by Keating. Dishes it off to Parker. Puts the foot down. Handball to Polak. The Dockers running it through the middle of the ground. Hazelby thought about the give. Will go himself inside 50. Medhurst there. Went to ground. Now McManus at ground level. Handball to Headland. Headland now to Hazelby. The Dockers with plenty of possession early. McManus decides to throw it on the boot. Penetration in the kick to Medhurst. Wants to play on. Runs around and kicks the opening goal for the Dockers. Plenty of players involved in that chain of possession. They ran it by hand from fullback almost to the forward 50. In the end, Paul Medhurst gets the start he needs, an early goal.
Yeah, and just very good work by Sean McManus as well. Had nowhere to go, just popped it up. Didn't try and overuse the football. Just gave every opportunity for his small forwards to be in that. Medhurst, who does need to fire, just held his field very, very well there. Just a little push, not too much in it. Did the right thing by playing on.
A milestone for Paul Medhurst, 100 career goals. His 14th for the season. A fine start to the Fremantle Football Club. Crowd building up around 30,000. Bleak old day. Longmuir up high over the top. Good give. Bell, strong tackle. Ackermanis through. Keating slow to get up behind play. Lappin sunk down by a tackle from Carr. Ball at half forward now for Fremantle. Pavlich and Lepic. Farmer, that's one of those assist ways in the side. Now he's in trouble. Steps around. Farmer towards the pocket. Inside. Hazelby was close, and Farmer is talking it up already to his teammates. Hasn't he had some headlines during the week? Here it is here, Longmuir up. And that is a big leap for Justin Longmuir. Hasn't played a lot in the ruck this year. Quick kick out. Lepic marks defensive 50. Fremantle by 6 points.
Keating with a knee to the jaw there from Justin Longmuir. Huge leap in that centre contest. Clark slow to get up. Shook the head a few times, but he seems to be okay now. Lepic by hand over the top to Brad Scott. Penetrating kick around the outer side. Pike his target through the hands of Martin Pike. And now a chance for Grover to clean up. To Polak. Fumbled. Ackermanis startled him. Now to Pike. Kick smothered. Now a chance for the Dockers through Walker. Pike's got it back. Lappin, scrappy piece of play in the end. It was almost inevitable it was going to find the boundary line. Have a throw in.
It's going to be like that today. It's going to be a very close game. James Walker keeping a very close eye on Ackermanis. He'll need to do that.
Throw in. Keating and Longmuir. Bell in the path of it. Hart working in hard as a free kick. It's going to the Fremantle skipper. Another superb season he's having. Averaging 27 possessions a game, Peter Bell. Leading from the front, as always. Goes laterally. Dangerous kick to Hadrill. Bradshaw couldn't quite get there to cut it off. Not one player behind Robert Hadrill. He's just backward of the centre circle. Brisbane forwards pushing up in numbers. Parker through traffic. Penetrating kick inside 50. Medhurst almost with the one hand. McManus to keep it alive for Fremantle. Heads to the pocket. Scott in over the top. Medhurst hacks it backwards by foot. Lepic taken down by McManus. The Brisbane defence work overtime to get the job done. Black down the line over the head of Pike. Grover will arrive first. Throws it on the boot quickly. Wide open space at half forward. Bradshaw, he's the full forward. Currently standing 65 metres out from the opposition goal. Black goes wide, very wide. He went looking for Voss. Out of bounds on the full. The free kick to be taken by Voss's opponent, McFarlane. But interesting to see, Peter. Brisbane playing a heavy zone, flooding back in numbers.
I think they're actually just picking up on Fremantle, because as soon as they get the ball, Fremantle, they are just full on attack. I think they've been given a licence today.
Cook inside 50. McManus playing forward. Easy spoil away. Copeland makes good 30 metres. Headland under a strong tackle. Farmer, Carr, spent it. Left foot. Again, Johnson, Medhurst. Johnson goes out of one-handed. He should rush it through. Good strong tackle. Hit the post. It's on the score. Rushed behind. Good to see Daniel Bradshaw out on the ground. Last venture to Perth. He was on the ground for 5 minutes of the warm-up. It was a late scratching. Pretty much camped in the Fremantle Dockers forward line, as you saw there. 7 points to lead. Again, Brisbane get it outside their defensive 50 with a pinpoint pass. Scott wants to go by hand. Too much on it to Ackermanis, but he's got plenty of time. There is Bradshaw. Back to Scott. They've worked it up to the wing nicely, and now it's up to Fremantle to try and clog up their forward line. Ackermanis decides to kick long. Voss has got away from McFarlane. Good effort. McFarlane slipped. And that was clever play by the Brisbane Lions. A long penetrative kick from Jason Ackermanis.
You can see McFarlane's just very conscious of Voss. Every time he's gone sideways on him, he's just losing ground a little bit there. He's always going to dominate in the air if it comes to an air duel battle.
From 50 metres, Voss. Across the face, didn't quite strike it off the boot. I don't think the breeze would have played a major part in that. It is fairly strong, but coming straight across the ground. That kick would have been shielded by the three-tier stand. Brisbane 2 behind, Fremantle 1-2-8. A goal to Paul Medhurst inside 90 seconds.
Hadrell long, McFarlane the target. Couldn't quite reel it in. Hart to Power from 50, stands and delivers. It's a good kick. It's a goal to the Lions. Luke Power makes them pay. McFarlane did everything but bring it down. Brisbane there at ground level just whisked it away, and Luke Power, fantastic finish.
This is the strength really of Brisbane, is the underrated players or the non-glamour players. And young Hart, well, Sean Hart, you shouldn't call him young anymore, but he's always at the base of it. He's always involved. And the helping at one just dishes off beautifully. He's one of the ultimate team players.
So the Lions lock it up. Luke Power kicks the opening goal of the game for the Brisbane Lions. Once again, just showing, make half a mistake against them and they will punish you as good as any side, probably in the history of the game. Just so good at seizing on opposition errors, and it wasn't even that much of an error, really. McFarlane went up. It was a contested marking situation, didn't quite bring it down. Brisbane went whack. Keating and Longmuir. Bell trying to get it forward for his side. They pile in, another free kick. And it's going Fremantle's way. Skipper Peter Bell. Walker's broken to the outer wing for him. Has got it and can go. Runs to 75. Spears to the pocket. Beautiful kick. Finds Matthew Pavlich 45 metres out. Tight angle. The Dockers' best chance this afternoon is to get the ball in quickly and prevent Brisbane from flooding back in numbers.
Yeah, I think you've also got to look at some of the Brisbane players giving their opposition fair bit of latitude there. Ackermanis taking on Walker and really showing no respect. Jason Ackermanis right off his opposition player, making it very easy for him to bring the football in for his teammates, and lovely kick to Pavlich.
Pavlich has kicked 8 goals, 9 for the season. From right on 50. Starts to the near side and misses. So the Dockers regain the lead. The barest of margins. We've played 9 minutes. The crowd pushing up towards 31,000 here at Subiaco. Already a fascinating tactical battle between these two sides.
Haven't had too many problems getting it outside defensive 50 from these kick-ins, Brisbane. Johnson will go long again. Keating, this is a mismatch in height. Keating and Walker, and numbers favour Brisbane as well, but Walker did well to make it a 50-50 ball over the line. Will have a throw in, but they made it outside the pressure area, Brisbane. The ball is up on centre wing.
Fair target having Keating. He's very rarely beaten in the air. He just always halves the footy.
Almost playing a Pagans Paddock style of game, the Brisbane Lions, leaving Voss one out. Of course, he kicked 7 goals against Adelaide early in the year.
Longmuir, Walker off a step. Lepich, Farmer coming through. Didn't quite get him. Hadley. Ackermanis should mark. Keating did well. Good spoil in the end from Fremantle. Comes to Bell. Headland's on his own at centre-half forward. That's the direction the kick goes. Headland goes at it one-handed. Well done, Lepage. Well done, Headland. Brilliant gather towards the goal square. Simmons back. McManus. Medhurst. This is Medhurst bread and butter. Goal!
Almost a cardinal sin in football going to ground like that. Lepage came in on Headland. Should have kept his feet, but just slid in there, giving Des Headland the opportunity to rebound that football. But very, very good, silky smooth from Headland. And he is fired up playing against his old side today. He really does look like he's come out to have a crack at it in Subiaco Oval.
Manus has started strongly, 5 disposals as well.
Two goals to Paul Medhurst. Dockers out to a 7-point lead. Longmuir still rucking against Clark Keating. Keating wins it on this occasion. Down to Black. He's wrapped up by Headland. Secondary bounce.
Gee, Justin Longmuir was having a fair old crack at Keating. Every time he's getting the knees up, he's crunching into him, even if the bounce is crooked. He's pretty aggressive today.
They recognise that Keating's Brisbane's only specialist ruckman, so if he does go down, they're going to be pretty light on in the middle. Maybe Jared Brennan might be the next likely option. Carr, he's wrapped up by McGrath. And given that Clark Keating's only played the one game back from an extended absence, some question marks over his ability to run out the 4 quarters. Keating on this occasion fisted into open space for Power to run onto. He was confronted and taken down by Cook, one of the best tacklers in the business. Hazelby shrugged to tackle, cop one high, advantage paid. Hayden sweeping handball. Headland back to Hayden. And another free kick going the Dockers' way. Advantage paid momentarily. Will now be brought back to Roger Hayden. Taken high. Goes to play on, gets run down from behind. That's a legal tackle. Umpire had called play on. Hazelby inside 50. Longmuir's pushed forward and takes the mark. Well, his man Clark Keating, you can see it in the foreground of screen there, walking back with hands on hips. Justin Longmuir did the ruck work and then streamed forward to present himself as a target. His opponent Keating didn't get back on him and may now pay the penalty.
Well, it even makes it more surprising why Aaron Sandilands isn't in the side, because it really could have stretched the ruck even further. Clark Keating's certainly got his hands full today.
Justin Longmuir, 9 goals, 4 for the season. Leans back on it. He likes it inside the right post. It's home. Longmuir gets his first. The Dockers have 3. They've established a mini break. They're 13 points up after 13 minutes at Subi.
Now, he certainly set himself for a day out today. Longmuir has already had 4 possessions. His first goal, but his ruck work's what's been impressive. He's been fantastic in the centre bounces, how he's just getting off the ground and using his knees on Clark Keating. One already in the jaw. It's got to hurt.
He's avoided the spotlight for a couple of weeks, Justin Longmuir, but he's had his share of critics this year again. He's answering today. Goal and a couple of strong attacks in the middle of the ground. The secondary ball up. Des Headland off the ground. He's been busy. Ackermanis and Hazelby with 5 possessions. Bell and Longmuir with 4, and 4 to Ackermanis. No clear tap down. Ackermanis received from Pike. Open forward line. Ball clean bowled Voss, Grover, McFarlane, straight up the middle. Strong mark, Copeland, and a good mark as Farmer went to ground.
Interesting matchup with Scott going to Pavlich. Away a bit of height there. Brad Scott. I'm sure the experience will be very handy.
Copeland will go to the direction of Pike. Bell is also there. Ackermanis again, he's been busy. Ackermanis, quick kick. Voss on the lead. Ball clears the pack. Comes to the bat. Hayden's got the sprints. He does well. Just wants to rush it through and does well. Under a bit of pressure from McGrath. Roger Hayden clever as the umpire speaks to Ashley McGrath and says, just watch yourself, and Grover may have seen what's coming.
Bell in the back pocket. Low trajectory kick finds Cook, still inside defensive 50. And now to Hayden at centre-half back. Dockers by 2 goals. We've played 15.5 minutes. Cook steps inside Keating. Now by hand to Polak. He looks up and goes towards Shammer. It was an ugly kick, gave him little chance, and Michael will tidy up at the back for Brisbane. Handball to Lappin. Notting. Michael, and they work it out to Black. Black towards half forward. It's a 2-on-1. The Dockers can use the numbers to their advantage. Parker slips away from Keating. Pike smothers his kick off the boot. Throw in 65 metres out from the Brisbane goal.
That really is the area, Peter Wilson, that Graham Polling has to work on. His kicking is substandard.
Well, I don't think I need to say any more about that, Tim. I think you might be spot on there. Just looking at Clark Keating also, very tired early in the game, struggling to get through this.
Longmire at the front, palmed it down to Hazelby. He emerges, kicks to half forward. Farmer trying to work Copeland under it and did so. Clever mark. Looked to be out of the contest. Shammer's running over the top. He's standing on his own. Farmer didn't spot him. He'll go to him now. Go wider, in fact, now towards Medhurst. Goes to ground. Can't get away from Michael. Ball up. We've seen Medhurst already go to ground.
Yeah, Clark Keating coming off the ground. A little bit sore on the right shoulder. That could be a telling point.
And Longmire, his fellow ruckman, comes off for a spell. There's Medhurst.
Did get one high, Medhurst. I'm surprised he didn't get a free kick. Left arm of Shattuck.
He's coming off, maybe Paul Medhurst.
Oh, yes.
There's a we'll call it a blood rule there. He might have just got
watch,
one in the...
watch Mel Michael's right arm.
I think he might have actually got it with his head as well. The head clash, I think, is where the clarets come from.
Not looking too healthy. Paul Medhurst being assisted off from the ground. La La Land at the moment. Des Headland replacing him.
He's strong, Mel Michael. He's a big, strong man.
So we'll have a bounce. Play resuming. 55 out from the Freo goal. Simmons slaps it to open space to Carr, to Farmer. Couldn't quite finish what would have been a spectacular piece of ruck work. 2 behinds to the Wiz in the opening term. Medhurst with 2 goals now off the ground. Longmire has the other for Fremantle. Well, Luke Power has Brisbane's solitary goal. The Dockers by 13 points. Still got 8.5 minutes remaining until quarter time. Johnson again with the kicking duties.
Oh.
Not great. Simmons with a resultant free kick, 55 from home. Characteristic mistake that from Chris Johnson. Hit it with the outside of the boot. Simmons now called to play on from 60 metres out. That's a shocker as well. Pavlich on the bounce. Flips it out to Grover from 55. He'll wind up towards the goal square. Bell and Shattuck, it clears them. And through for another behind. So some ordinary kicking from both sides early in this game. It's the Dockers by 14 points.
Interesting with the ruck work now. Will be taken over by Jared Brennan for the Brisbane Lions. 192 centimetres. Mike Keating's not going to be involved in this game. It'll be a very tough day out for the young fella.
Johnson. That's a better kick. There is the fly from Brennan. Has a wonderful vertical leap. Pavlich, does he keep it in? No. He tried. Tiptoeing along the boundary line. The boundary umpire was there. There's the head clash. He got it from Shattuck originally, and then he got a bit of... he grabbed his mouth himself. And...
well, it's not on camera. You should get any weeks for that.
No, you do get weeks when it's not on camera. That's what Lee Matthews is trying to say.
So I did say he should have.
Over the top to Black. To Power. Hayden will chip in. Good mark. Had to run across in the flight of the ball ahead of Voss. Now he's played on and got a problem. Hadrill. Goes out wide. Waterhouse. Clive. 31,678 fans in. They're all cheering him on. They love him. Long kick. Polak, best position. Well done, Michael. Punch the ball down. They stand off. Carr, was he pushed? No. Shammer. 60 out. Left foot. Brilliant. Hazelby out of the goal square. Hit him on the chest. What a great kick from Byron Shammer. Hazelby, a beautiful set shot goal. Kick out will go back from 30 metres out directly in front.
Interesting to see Paul Hazelby playing out of the goal square in Brisbane, keeping Simon Black on him as his opponent.
Yeah, good position, and I think Fremantle will be very happy with that. I think Simon would be well known for his defensive play. Be interesting to see how the kick goes. $1.2 million man.
It's a great kick for goal. No exception. Fremantle are going okay. 4 goals.
Suggests that the Fremantle Football Club would be very happy re-signing this boy. Signing him now for an extended 2 years, I think, he's on his contract, Tim.
It's the end of 2007 now, yep.
Has been absolutely fantastic, and he is worth 1.2 all day, every day.
Second favourite for the Brownlow medal by James Hird 8 weeks into the season.
Always an enormous bonus when a midfielder can have a spell, push forward and kick a goal. Paul Hazelby's done that on top of his game-high 7 possessions. The Dockers have snuck out to a 20-point break as we head towards quarter time. Brennan in the ruck. Simmons comes careering through. The ruckman an effective tap. Black taken down by Cook. Quick hands came to Simmons. Boots it inside 50. On the bounce, Copeland in there working hard. Johnson at ground level. Now Michael trying to crash through a couple of tackles. Comes back to Copeland. Sockers it out wide. Power. Little Shepherd. Clive arrived late, affected the kick, and it goes right to the boundary line. In fact, it's still in. Players almost stopped. Bell, Hazelby, Cook. Over the top, they've got a loose man, it's Carr. He's 55 from home. Winds up, goes to the square. No one there for the Dockers. And Michael picks it off. Now to Pratt. First touch in league football to Daniel Pratt is one he would probably prefer to forget. It pitches just inside the line. It bounces out for a throw in as Jeff Farmer comes off for a spell.
Medhurst is up running the boundary line. Looks like he's keen to get back in the action.
It's Michael trying to crash through. Farmer. Vigorous over the top. Brennan with the leap. Simmons with the takeaway. Headland into the path of Carr. He'll be run down by Luke Power. Waterhouse, can he do the U-turn? Twists and turns onto the right. Snaps towards the goal square. Off hands. Rushed behind. So the Dockers with all the momentum. Started this term very, very well. And given that Brisbane have been such brilliant starters all season, they've booted 30 goals to 19 leading into this game in first quarters. They've been great starters, but today it's the Dockers with the jump.
Yeah, and every time Brisbane have gone forward, there hasn't been much to go to outside of Michael Voss. Again, they have no one inside their forward 50.
All of a sudden, they've started to struggle to get it outside the defensive zone. Now, that kick has cleared the pack and gone to Hart to Ackermanis. And this is that Pagans paddock style setup for Brisbane at the moment. But McFarlane, brilliant. Back with the fight under enormous pressure to take a very good chest mark. Kick, a little wobbler, a little floater to Headland, who's been good early. There's a runner outside. That's Hayden. Back to Hayden. Interesting Shepherd. It's against Simmons. Caught high. And
that was just silly. Just putting his hands out. Just grabbing away. And just turned the football over there. That was just silly play by Troy.
It's now found itself to half forward left. Pike turns around. Kicks towards the goal square. Parker back. Bradshaw. Ball spills. Run in. Goal. Easy as you like. Daniel Pratt. Welcome to the big time, boy.
We'll be happy with that, Daniel Pratt. His first kick nearly went out of bounds on the full. Dropped in by a couple of centimetres. It gives the opportunity here, but they're really struggling going into their forward line here. It's banging away in hope as far as Brisbane's concerned. As we've spoken about, very much a Pagans paddock style. They really do need Bradshaw to stand up and give them something to straighten their game up with.
Experiment with Michael Voss up forward has been discontinued for the moment, reverting to a more traditional lineup with Bradshaw now at full forward. Michael Voss into the centre of the ground. He's standing Paul Hazelby. Simmons advantage by the bounce. Brennan later tackle. Lappin feeds it back to Hart. High ball, they'll contest it at the 50. McFarlane over the top with a well-timed fist. Black through traffic to Pike. Puts the foot down. Great effort from Parker. Pike was ready to burst away. In the end, had to put boot to ball quickly because Parker was closing fast. Hurried the kick and threw for a minor score. Dockers waste no time. Hadrell to Woods. Raking left boot around the wing. It's a 2-on-1. Simmons at the back. Hazelby will tidy it up. Voss arrives. Puts his body on the line. Feeds it out to Ackermanis. Brilliant skills from those two. Brennan run down by Walker. Handball to no one in particular and found Hayden. Over the top to Walker. Can go inboard to Bell. Goes for a run. Feeds it through to Shammer. Running the gauntlet at the moment, the Fremantle Dockers to Pavlich. Just caught underneath it a little. Stumbled at the crucial stage. McManus at ground level. Back to Walker. Again, lots of possession from the Dockers. It comes to Headland. He's a finisher. Can he deliver? Great running tackle. Just as he was about to get boot to ball, it affected the kick. And the Lions will come away through Shattuck. Fantastic run down from Sean Hart. And shut down what was a certain shot for goal from Des Headland. Sean Hart, the little terrier, as we have a look at Mel Michael on the bench.
Been receiving treatment for a thigh. Great chase by Hart. That's what he is. Tenacious, never gives up. He is a real star of the AFL, Sean Hart. Much unheralded. He has power. Interesting. Didn't travel the required distance. Hazelby bombs it inside 50. Clears the pack. Now Brisbane have numbers. Johnson's got plenty of time. Come out to Lappin deep in his own defensive half. Now there's nothing really up forward. And this is a spiral punt down the line. Gilmore back on the ground, back in the team. Bell back to Gilmore. Left foot strong. McManus in best position. Under pressure. Corrie, well done. Johnson was out of that contest with McManus and did well. Now Brisbane have got numbers. That's because they're all behind the ball. They're under enormous pressure. Couple of bounces from Scott, but then he looks up and says, well, where am I going to go next? Down the line, easy as you like. Pike wanted a free for a hand on the shoulder from McFarlane, but he'll love that situation. Very hard to beat in a 50-50 ball, and there's Hazelby continuing this amazing run. 10 disposals and a goal. Ackerman is good early. Bell's busy, and Hayden in the last line of defence for Freo. There's 11 to Bell, to Hazelby, to Bell at centre half forward. Clive on the lead. Play on and bounced. Umpire's paid the mark. I'd question it. I would question whether it carried. I don't think Clive thought it carried. He looked like he wanted to go on with it, but umpire Rosebery says, I'll pay the mark. Interesting. Sure, Clive was going to get up and go. He realised he hadn't taken it, and there is good reason. A bonus for Freo.
Really comes down to the pace of Clive Waterhouse. Most guys really wouldn't have got there. He does cover it at the ground with exceptional speed, Clive Waterhouse. And they'd be very keen, and so would Clive, to get this football through for 6 points, because if he does get his confidence up, he can be a machine.
Keating off to go down to the room, struggling with that right shoulder. Here's Waterhouse off 4 steps. Welcome back, Clive. Goal. To the umpire's defence. Probably blindsided, on the wrong side. Had to make a call in his view.
Well, I think from the umpire's position, he had plenty of the football at the time, and it fell out just at the base. I think he covered that quite well.
It wasn't a mark.
I don't think he'd get away with that in...
That's not a mark. He didn't hold it at all.
Wouldn't be a catch and test cricket, would it?
It was not a mark.
I don't think Clive's too worried about it.
It's an interesting selection choice from Chris Connolly to go with Clive Waterhouse ahead of Aaron Sandilands, but with Clark Keating off the ground and Clive bobbing up to kick a goal. You'd have to say at the moment it's worked out okay for the Fremantle Dockers.
Bradshaw in the ruck for Brisbane.
It's going to be a big problem for the Lions all afternoon, and they might be confident that Simmons and Longmuir can get the job done for the Dockers in the ruck, which then provides another forward option in Clive. Power tumbles it inside 50. McFarlane tracks it back. He's got some support in the form of Gilmore. Handball missed the body. Crashing through was Adcock. Ball still alive down there. Players piling on top. Hadley. Handball to Ackermanis. Ducks the head. Tries to get through the tackle. Umpire will ball it up right alongside the boundary. Just under 1.5 minutes remaining until the first change. Dockers with a 20-point lead. Simmons against Bradshaw. Bradshaw down to Ackermanis, was clever and on to Power again. Was confronted by Cook, had no space to kick that. Hence it'll be called play on. Woods taken down. Ball smothered to the line. Dion Woods putting some body on body in that contest.
Dockers have been very good in this area, keeping their eye on the football on the defensive half. McFarlane, Woods and co.
See the numbers inside the forward 50 for Brisbane. One-on-ones everywhere. Voss at the back. Hazelby lingering. Here's Power again. So dangerous on either side of the body again. That one skewing off the side of the boot and out of bounds on the full. Power once again running out of space to kick. Confronted by an opponent having to jam it on the boot in a hurry. Dockers will be happy to hold here. Parker to Hadrill as the clock ticks down to 45 seconds. That's what he's got in front of him. Just wants to make sure he chooses the right option. Out wide to Grover on the bounce. Corrie to put some pressure on. Shammer will be first to arrive and will happily take it to the line. So given Brisbane's great starts in recent times, the Dockers would be delighted with this opening term. 11 scoring shots to 6 is probably a fair reflection of the run of play. The Dockers with a lot more possession, 96 to 65. A lot more inside 50s as well, 19 to 10. Woods, Voss arrives. Handball, standing up in the tackle. Hart bombs it long, right towards the goal square. Punched away from Brennan. Here's Pratt. He's already kicked one. Taken down. Ackermanis lurking with intent. Will go again, Acker. Cook came in high. No free kick. Black goes, and there is a free kick. It's going to Ackermanis. He'll have a kick for goal after the siren. Have to protect the man with his head over the ball.
Not malicious, but it was there.
Awkward and probably reckless, I guess.
He almost pulled up Cook, and when he realised he was going to make contact.
So no damage done, but a free kick nonetheless. Jason Ackermanis receiving plenty of support and advice from the Fremantle crowd. We won't mind that one bit. Chance to reduce the deficit at quarter time. Jason Ackermanis after the siren. Loves the big stage, Acker. And calmly slots it straight over the goal umpire's hat. Important goal after the siren. Just a bit of confusion as to which umpire was giving the all clear, but there it is. Goal to the Lions. Ackermanis gets Brisbane's third. The margin at quarter time reduced to 14 points. The Dockers 5-6-36. Brisbane 3-4-22.
Don't be surprised, he won't be back on the ground, Tim.
Why have the jab if you're not coming back?
Well, I think he may come back. That jab, I think, is to make sure he does have part of the game in there.
Second term at Subiaco. Bell to Hazelby. And the Dockers go forward through Cook. Lappin and Carr, shoulder to shoulder. Carr wins that contest. Wheels onto the right boot, tugs it to the pocket. Medhurst is back on. It was an eventful opening term for Paul Medhurst. He kicked 2 goals, came off with the blood rule. Plays on quickly. Another goal to the Dockers. Margin out to 20 points. Fremantle controlling this contest. Paul Medhurst has been busy.
Does every time, Paul Medhurst plays on. That many times you think the opposition players would wake up to that. The Brisbane boys were standing around. Shaddock was the person here and just started to spectate, thinking the game was over.
Is it a mental thing? He's just more comfortable to do that than take a set shot. He's not so comfortable with his set shots at the moment.
That would be an absolute Monty. He just always loves kicking around corners. He is a genius at it. He did that in the WAFL. When he has to line up, I think he just loses his confidence.
Great start to the second quarter for Fremantle. Farmer coming off the wing on this occasion. Longmuir looks up, good vision. Now Polak's gone forward. Knocks it back to Cook. Headland, 60 out. Pavlich front spot. Scott, ball ricocheted back. Bell. McManus. Hart, they just want to clear it. Brisbane. Loose ball, gathered by Gilmore. Hayden at centre half forward, kicks along. Any number of Dockers can mark this. There was 3 lining up. Bell was there, but Polak chipped in and took the mark. Graham Polak.
1 goal, 7 in his league career team.
He kicked the ball into the man on the mark from 15 metres out against Hawthorn in Launceston last week. Let's hope he's learned his lesson.
I think he might have there, Tim. He just went back about 6 paces, marked the ground, as a lot of players do now, and has taken another 6 or 7 paces back.
Bagged his kicking earlier in the game. Should I have doubted him? No. Goal! Troubled times for Brisbane. This is a fine start to the second quarter. 2.5 minutes. The Dockers have stretched the lead to 26 points.
And they were lining up for that opportunity. We look back again, and in Brisbane's forward line, only 2 players. Fremantle players pushing forward all the time, in every instance here, and making sure they're all available, have an opportunity. Have a go putting through one through the sticks today.
Dynamic start to the second term from the Dockers. 13 possessions to 1 in this quarter, and it's all starting in the middle. Coming into this game, Brisbane, the best clearance side in the competition. The Dockers ranked 10th. We're seeing the importance of having a recognised ruckman in there at the moment because the Dockers are smashing them. Pike puts the head down. And the Brisbane Lions just not able to generate the sort of drive that we associate with their centre setup. Nigel Lappin looks to be pushing up into the middle again now as they try to reshuffle the chairs and get something happening. Bradshaw has Black to Notting. It was slick, it was tidy, and Notting into the path of Ackermanis. He marked 60 from home. Can go over the top to Adcock, who's pushed inside 50 and marks. It's 30 metres out, 45-degree angle, Jed Adcock. Made his debut against the Kangaroos in round 7, kicked a goal in that game. The Lions badly need one here.
It was interesting to watch Ackermanis when he breaks. He always goes sideways into open space, knowing to use his pace, allowing his teammates to kick over the top.
Adcock likes it off the boot. No problems with that one. 4 points. Adcock gets one back for the Brisbane Lions. The margin back to 20 points. As the reigning champs try to hang in early in the second term.
They certainly have a great understanding, these players. Notting, just kicking it over the top, knowing what sort of pace Ackermanis has. Just running onto the football, does it so much. And again, uses the football. Not being hungry, not going for goals. Just feeding off to his teammates.
Chris Johnson going forward for the Brisbane Lions. McManus. So switch of roles for those two. Now Clark Keating on the bench. Body blow. Now he's got some ice on that right shoulder. Margin back to 20 points. Again, Longmuir wins it down. Now it's roved by his opposite number in Bradshaw. And you can see the difference. There is Fremantle's dominance. They've won the last 6 hit-outs. He's enjoying his run in the ruck with the Fremantle Dockers today in Longmuir. Hasn't done a lot of rucking in more recent times. Hasleby freed up the arms to Longmuir. Ackermanis over the top. Spoils to Pratt, who's been good in his debut. Bell pushed in the back and should get a free kick. Carried forward. And does, just backward of left centre wing. Goes long to Hadrick, the driller, on centre wing. Short chip kick. Polak. Been pushed forward again. Started in defence. Trying to stretch Brisbane's lack of height. Walker, centre half forward, 80 out. Lead from Medhurst. Bang, got him. Farmer has run on. Medhurst has seen him. Farmer, well done, Copeland, a hand in. Brilliant stuff, Brisbane. Scott to Corrie. Intention was right from Medhurst. Black under pressure. Driven into the ground, unlucky not to get a free. Spilled back to Medhurst. Throws it on the boot. He's missed a lot. But he's busy. He's going well under enormous pressure. Farmer looks on his game today. Scott has it right back pocket. Margin 20 points. The crowd over 32,000. Lockie Reed's man, the Weather Bureau's got it right. It's now sun, the blue sky, the wispy cloud, but nothing threatening. As Scott goes outside defensive, 50, up, fly, nodding. Gilmore just shakes the tackle ever so easy, then throws it on the boot. Farmer setting himself. Leppich under pressure, gathers, thrown to the ground, hand in, well done Brisbane. I want it to the boundary line. McGrath finds it and they're under pressure again. Margin 20 points.
Struggling to find a target at the moment, Brisbane, coming outside of the 50.
It's Chris Johnson, one out in the goal square. They've changed Shane Parker onto Johnson now. McManus was his original opponent, then Hayden, and now Parker. As the two coaches go toe-to-toe, tactically in the box. Corrie to Copeland. We'll look up the line. Go by hand to Lappin. Again, a little uncertainty, a little line in front of them. Held it up nicely to Power, but again he's confronted. It's the third time today he's kicked in an opponent. Hazelby put his body in, crunched in hard. Ball up, just fall to the wing for the Brisbane Lions. They trail by 20 points. We've played 8 minutes. In the second term at Subiaco. Power starved of space to work in this afternoon. Bradshaw against Longmuir. Spills to Ackermanis. Tumbles it inside 50. Here's that one-on-one contest between Johnson and Parker. Johnson did well, but he's on a very tight angle. Bends it back across the body. That is a magnificent goal! Well, Shane Parker did everything a defender could do there. He's worked his man to the boundary line. He was right by his shoulder. And Chris Johnson, who spent most of his last few years playing down back, he was Fitzroy's leading goal scorer in '95 and started his career as a forward. Again, just shows the versatility and brilliance that Lee Matthews has at his disposal.
I could say I've played a couple of hundred games in this ground, and I don't think that would be a harder puck to kick a goal like that from. That was outstanding.
Day of milestones, goal 150 for Chris Johnson. Goal kicker at Fitzroy. Much needed goal for Brisbane today. Margin reduced it back to 14 points. Bell, Walker, kick smothered. Hayden held without it, free kick.
That's just pure frustration from Bradshaw.
He's going okay, Bradshaw. He's doing a lot of the stuff. He might not be winning the knocks, but he's throwing his body in. He's working hard. He has the agility. That's a comparison of that of Longmuir. Now, Polak's on his own at centre-half forward and demanding the ball, but Pratt should spoil. No, Polak, great effort. Under enormous pressure. That's a wonderful contested mark. Too far out. Of course, he's between centre and centre-half forward.
Brisbane getting back in numbers here.
Again, no one behind the ball. There's the kick into the 50. It's pretty crowded. Indirect stuff. Strong tackle. Brilliant tackle by Leppich. Nothing doing for Peter Bell. A flying tackle it was. Wonderful effort from triple premiership player Justin Leppich. Have a look at this. Could have gone high, grabbed him, turned him over. That is wonderful stuff. Ooh, over the top. Power. Poor hand pass. Gilmore, he's a left footer with the right boot. Kicks towards Farmer. Well done, Copeland's going okay. Medhurst, Paul Medhurst throws it on the boot, across the face. He's busy today, Paul. He's been in everything. Been off the ground with the blood rule. 15 points to margin. Good game of footy, entertaining game of footy, and tightened up in the last couple of minutes.
Chalk up a win for Lee Matthews on the Chris Johnson front. Threw him forward, manufactured a goal for the Lions. And they're just hanging in at the moment. 15 points the margin. Halfway through this second term. Right, Brett Allen giving Rob Copeland the hurry up. He's now called to play on. Got very close to Jeff Farmer on the mark. Goes towards Bradshaw. Longmuir over the top, couldn't quite bring it down. Handball picked off by Sean Hart. High to the wing. Hadrill tries to work his man under it. Pratt. Dion Woods with a timely hand in there. Slaps it to the line. Still we see Chris Johnson one out inside the forward 50. That was how close Copeland went. It looked like he almost kicked it through the arms there of Jeff Farmer. The tactical battle continues between Lee Matthews and Chris Connolly. Plenty of players around this one. Headland has it, lost it now. Cook skirts around the fringes to pick up a crumb. Hazelby into the path of Grover by hand to Headland. He was confronted by McGrath. Lingering tackle when not in possession. Free kick to Des Headland. Leads come now. Medhurst goes to the pocket and Headland obliges. Well-timed lead, beautifully weighted kick. Paul Medhurst has kicked 3 goals, 1. As Paul Hazelby comes off for a spell to be replaced by Troy Simmons. Expect Justin Longmuir to push forward as Simmons goes into the ruck. Headland will also come off, replaced by Clive. Byron Shanner in there as well. So plenty of changes being made by Chris Connolly. We know he works the bench more than any other coach in the competition. Paul Medhurst coming in for his 8th disposal. He's already kicked 3. This to extend the lead once again. Perfect. 4 goals to Paul Medhurst. And the Dockers once again kick out to a 21-point break. Brisbane Lions been hanging on from midway through the opening term when the Dockers kicked clear. At the moment, Fremantle with the answers.
And Medhurst getting away from his opposition players. Brad Scott wasn't his direct player. Again, Brisbane sitting off these guys, and he can't do it. They haven't been in great form, but they are certainly firing right now.
Medhurst 4 goals, and this man Matthew Pavlich, there you are, has not touched the ball in the last just a minute shy of half an hour. So they're going okay without one of their prime movers. He's in the middle of the ground now. Guaranteed he'll be near it soon. Scott, ball loose. Hart's been very good. Spiral inside 50. Voss took his eye off the footy. McFarlane, his opponent, back hard. Pratt gives chase. Hand pass to Woods. Got a bad bounce. Now Brisbane have numbers. Hand pass inside. Adcock took his eye off the footy. Got to get it first. Johnson, again, a difficult kick. Good vision. Spotted up Voss. Gives to Power. Great stuff, Brisbane. Second goal to Luke Power, and that was just clinical stuff from the centre bounce.
Just the hard work from Johnson once again. Move by Matthews, getting him up forward, is just giving him some sort of opportunity here at the moment. They really are struggling up forward, but Johnson just doing it over time, giving the football off, giving his vision open to find his skipper.
Brisbane Lions just keep finding ways of manufacturing goals. Justin Leppich. 2 possessions in the game so far. They are undermanned at the moment, the Lions, structurally decimated, but hanging in. Bell to Gilmore. Dockers away again. Spears inside 50. Lappin tidies up the crumbs. He's playing in the defensive 50 at the moment. Just trying to get the blend right. Goes wide towards Adcock. Has a couple to beat that stays alive for the Dockers. Bell to Walker. Can go inside 50 to Longmuir. Well, Justin Longmuir's been in everything this afternoon. It was just the game he needed. Started in the ruck. He's been dynamic in those contests. Has had some time pushing forward. He's kicked 1. Now has a chance to go back and kick his 2nd for the afternoon, but he really has been in the heat of battle right from the word go. I think it's been good for his game, Peter, because he's the sort of player who can drift in and out.
Yeah, certainly. I think he's been very happy with the start of the ruck. It's allowing him to get some momentum into a game which he hasn't had in a while.
So Longmuir. That was an ugly, ugly kick. It could have been taken in the goal square as it turned out. Brisbane will sneak away. Power towards the wing. Pratt and Grover off their hands, spills to the back. Voss first to recover. Goes to the voice inboard of Simon Black. Again, we've got that one-out duel between Johnson and Parker. Parker on this time takes the points. Slips away. Sweeping handball, and the Dockers have got numbers forward of the football. Cook to Hazelby and Medhurst. Well, the Brisbane Lions ran hard when they got possession through Michael Voss and Simon Black. The turnover came. Suddenly they were out of position. The Dockers with numbers straight up the middle of the ground. Once again, we see pinpoint disposal from Hazelby as Medhurst gets under that one. It's a high ball, but it is a straight ball. Medhurst's got 5 goals midway through the second term. 3 in this quarter to Paul Medhurst. 5 goals, 1 for the game. Things warming up here at Subiaco. The margin now out to 21 points. And lo and behold, Brad Scott in the thick of it with a big smile on his face.
And loving it. Paul Hazelby was loving it as well. As he went in there, he had 3 different options. He could have gone to Medhurst, he could have gone to Farmer, he could have gone to Polak. Options abound at the moment for Fremantle in their forward half, what has been lacking week in, week out of late.
Paul Medhurst, he believed the neck was on the chopping block along with Farmer, Headland, and they're all playing good footy. Medhurst is having a day out at Subiaco Oval. Hart is trying to keep Brisbane in it, so too Ackermanis has been okay. They're starting to run Brisbane forward now. Lappin to half forward. Black and Grover all out. 21 points to margin. Simon Black kicked a point after 20-odd seconds. And then when Medhurst goaled at the 92nd mark of the first quarter, it's been all Fremantle, and they're still working on that quad of Mel Michael, not good. Michael and Keating both appear injured. Gilmore to Hazelby, possession 16. Polak looks good on the forward line again. People want him moved down back. He started down back, he's gone forward and been impressive. Clive is the target, punched away. Shammer under pressure. Scott, quick kick. Notting sees it over, still plenty of time.
It's impressive around the ball, Fremantle at the moment. They're just getting numbers to every contest, getting numbers to the fall of the football, front and square.
Simmons, Walker, intelligent knock, heard a voice from Woods, he went without it. And got one high from Ackermanis, not much in it, but Woods goes by hand to Gilmore. Lovely long kick of the footy, Gilmore, loves to run, close to 50, up and under, Leppich in best position. Now Farmer was felled off the ball, no free kick, unlucky for mine. Everyone looks like they're stopping. Interesting. Bell was like soccer, like running it in towards the quarter post and wanting to just buy some time.
It's remarkable, isn't it?
Power and Leppich and Bell. Everyone appeared to stop, unless someone's got a whistle in the crowd. Farmer. Shammer. Kicked it far too hard. Kicked it out of bounds on the full. A rush of adrenaline.
The Ash McGrath in the back pocket.
There's a bit in this game. There's a bit in this game. It's getting a bit niggly, Jaz.
Hazelby flies, almost a big one-hander. Hart off the deck, off the hands of Pratt. Voss at the back with McFarlane. Hart tidies up again. Advantage paid. Ackermanis has it 60 from home. Wide open forward 50 again. Adcock's on his own in the pocket. Pike's on his own straight in front.
He's got good vision, Ackermanis.
They know how they play, though, don't they? Again, Ackermanis is that they kick the football over his head all the time, just allow him to run, but he just looks up every time. Early in his career was known to be a little hungry, but the vision, spot on.
They just keep hanging in, the Brisbane Lions. The margin 21 points. They've lost Keating, they've lost Michael, and Craig McRae, a late withdrawal. Pike reduces the margin to just 15 points. The Lions hang in, just continue to find a goal when they need one, keep in touch. And they've shuffled their structure so much this afternoon already. They've had to manufacture forwards. They've had midfielders playing back. They've had their full forward playing in the ruck. But somehow they just keep shuffling the chairs, each man standing up to cover his little bit. And the margin's still just 15 points.
Yeah, Fremantle have been dominating this game of football. The likes of Hazelby and Bell, 16 and 15 possessions. They just keep hanging in there, Brisbane.
All the numbers heavily weighted in favour of the Dockers. Brisbane Lions working against the odds and doing it well at the moment. The margin just 15 points. Simmons in the ruck against Bradshaw. Pavlich will tumble it inside 50. Clears Lepic and Polak. Lepic first back onto it for the Lions. Twisting and turning, went the wrong way. Farmer picked it. Lepic takes it to the line and will have a throw in.
Strong tackle. It's just too far from the boundary to play deliberate. It was a good 20 metres from the boundary. Justin Lepic. Freo fans disagree. They're vocal. They're making some noise. Crowd almost 32,500. Pike under pressure. Head down. Simmons wraps him up. Back in April, the Brisbane Lions undermanned against the West Coast Eagles. They pushed the Eagles on that occasion, and you're right, they do manufacture goals and positional changes.
It's got a similar vibe about it this game, doesn't it? Brisbane came late in the end, just couldn't quite win, but probably should have.
Undermanned again. Now Lepic was taken high, no free kick, unlucky. It's just this game, you just sense that. I thought that should have been a free kick, and no doubt should have been the right leg of Polak. Just sense this game has got some niggle in it. Grover, 60 metres out. A lot of plays inside this forward 50. Grover will kick long towards the goal square. They need a fly. Simmons has marked. Carr was also there. And they're just stretching this Brisbane Lions defence at every opportunity.
Well, they're just undermanned in the situation. Fremantle are just peppering away and pushing forward at all times because they just know that they have these options available to them. Jeff Farmer coming for a little break. There's Headland. Bad change. Clive Waterhouse comes off. Longneal will be coming back on. So Fremantle bringing the changes. Luxury they're going to have today.
Leading goal kicker for the Dockers this year, coming into this game with 15, Troy Simmons, but he's been surpassed by Medhurst today. Already got 5, and Simmons should put through the 10th. It's a terrible kick.
Particularly for a guy who's kicked 15-2 for the season until then. He's been fantastic.
It's just average. Clive off the ground. Late replacement to Aaron Sandilands. And Farmer's off. Interesting coaching move. Just sensed that Jeff getting a little bit frustrated with maybe the umpires and some close attention. So might be a calm move. That's another terrible kick. Someone check the ball. It's not anything to do with the conditions. It's just the striking of the footy hasn't been clean. We've seen a couple of those today. Longmere, that's a poor kick as well. And Corrie will chip in.
Wonder if we can just rewind this for a while to see if we can't just eliminate that last couple of minutes. It's been very ordinary.
16 points to margin. Now Corrie, more of your traditional drop punt towards centre wing. Notting probably should have taken it towards the boundary line. Hayden stood up in the tackle of Adcock and got it to Woods, who looks up towards Pavlich. Has been quiet, but Scott didn't realise the ball was coming to him and got the easiest of marks. Bradshaw to Corrie. They said, well, we'll go away from the shadows of the grandstand and go to the outer side, go to a bit of class. McFarlane and Voss. McFarlane wanted it more. Can he keep it in? No. And yes, I tend to agree with you, Peter Wilson. We might erase it from about this point backwards. And Michael Voss, he had the one kick, just the one kick, Michael Voss.
Under 4 minutes till half-time. Bradshaw got rid of Simmons illegally. Free kick to Troy Simmons. Margin 16 points. The numbers certainly suggest Fremantle could have been more dominant than that. Brisbane have made the most of their rare opportunities up forward, really.
And the Fremantle players, again, just take off, all going forward. The Brisbane players having to go with them, just emptying out the options for Brisbane when they do get a turnover and go forward.
Inside 50s, 33-16. Just 16 for the Brisbane Lions to almost half-time. Only the AFL standard is somewhere in the mid-50s to win a game of football. So you can see the Brisbane Lions are going to have plenty of work to do in the second half. They really do need to find a structure that works at getting that ball forward more efficiently.
But they would be happy with the margin being just 16
Remarkable,
points.
isn't it?
Because Fremantle have clearly been a 6 or 7 goal better side.
That's the danger against sides like Brisbane. If you leave the door just even slightly ajar, they can come back and burn you later in the game. Ackermanis, was he taken high? Umpire said play on. Ball inside 50 again for the Dockers.
It's going back, Jason.
It is coming back to Ackermanis. Coming up for his 14th possession, Jason Ackermanis. Luke Power has also had 14. Lingering arm across the shoulder from Daniel Gilmore. Ackermanis goes long. Pratt, the front. Also with Hadrell. Pratt's got the mark. Good strong effort from the youngster. High ball inside 50. So that Johnson-Parker duel. It's been a fascinating one. To the pocket, Gilmore and Notting. Notting trying to get it free because he realised he had a couple of men in support. Black in there as well. McFarlane happy to slap it to the line. Voss screaming for deliberate, saying how deliberate can it be, umpire, or words to that effect. Have a throw in.
Sums up his day of frustration at the moment, Michael Voss. Just the one kick, 5 handballs.
Simmons and Bradshaw. Simmons in the front spot. Goes after it himself. Johnson will apply a tackle. Got right into his back. Umpire agrees. Free kick to Troy Simmons. It's pretty handy duo to be able to rotate Longmuir and Simmons through the ruck at the moment with Keating off. Bradshaw is their #1 ruck option up against Simmons and Longmuir. You can see why the Fremantle Dockers are dominating the stoppages at the moment. As Woods comes away from half back, loping left foot. The hands of Pavlich. Freo give it up. It's pitched by Power. Inboard to Hadley. Under 2 minutes remaining till half-time. Lions would love another goal here. Hadley short to Pike. Really, if they could pinch another one here and go in just 10 points down at half-time, it would be an extraordinary effort. Plenty of players inside the forward 50. Pike somehow found Bradshaw in just a little bit of space. Wood shut him down. Hadley through traffic. Adcock tries to run onto it. McFarlane crashes through. Gave it up to Power. From a standing start, 45 out, they've got it. Power's got 3, margin back to just 10 points. And the Brisbane Lions continue to defy the odds and hang in this contest. What an amazing side they are.
Martin Pike has really been the key going forward for Brisbane at the moment. Coming off the back half, he's been working up very, very hard. They've been looking up for him, coming down, streaming down the sides and connecting up their play. So the old-timer, 4 premierships, certainly standing up beautifully at the moment for the Brisbane Lions and keep them in. You just wouldn't believe this game is now only 10 points in it.
It is the narrowest margin it's been since the 13-minute mark of the first quarter. So they are going okay and they're going forward again, Brisbane. And this man's been damaging. Ackermanis throws on the boot. Voss hardly sighted. Well done by McFarlane. Spoil in. Johnson over the ball. Stripped of it by Woods. Farmer heard a voice. That of Parker. Well, maybe not. He doesn't say a lot. Has a bounce on centre wing. He's running. Forrest Gump, they call him when he's in full motion. Looks up towards Longmuir at the back. Well done by Leppard, just stood his ground. A hand in, back to Bell. Little shimmy kick along their ground. Intelligent stuff. High bounce. Boy, they needed that. Smart play, Peter Bell. Didn't blaze away. Knew what he had to do and executed brilliantly.
Letting his opposite number and Power know all about that too, because he's been doing a reasonably good job on him at the moment. Been working overtime, and I think a little lucky for Peter Bell, but the opportunity saw the opening through the eye of the needle, just threaded it through beautifully. He's all class, Peter Bell.
Well, they've been the 2 leading stat getters on the ground in the second term. Luke Power's had 8 and Bell's had 7, so it's been a crucial duel in this contest, both getting plenty of the football for their sides. Marching back out to 16 points. 40 seconds remaining till half-time. Simmons with the tap. Scott farmed it out the back to Power again. Away he goes. Ackermanis, time for one more for Brisbane. Ackermanis to half forward. Here comes Voss. Punched away by McFarlane. Tell you what, in the air at the moment in this competition, there are a few better than Luke McFarlane. Whether it be timing his spoils or taking contested marks, he's about as good as it gets going around as we speak.
And also helps with his pace. Very, very quick across the ground, allowing to get to all those contests.
Bradshaw and Simmons. Pavlich tried with a secondary slap, got boot to ball, dribbled it forward only as far as Pike. To Black. Effective smother. Ricocheted back to Black. He can go again. Inside 50. 8 seconds remaining. Johnson needs to get boot to ball. Harassed by Hadrill. Voss needs to get it on the boot. Hadley does get it on the boot. Goes to the line, off the hands of Woods, and it is half-time at Subiaco. And what a game we have. Entertaining contest. It's had it all. Tactical battles. It's had injuries. It's had the two coaches working overtime. The Fremantle Dockers, they skipped away. At one stage, they led by as much as 26 points early in the second term. But the Brisbane Lions keep on coming. Half-time at Subi. Fremantle 10-8-68. The Brisbane Lions 8-5-53.
Gilmore's gone to Ackermanis, who has really been dominant for the Brisbane boys.
Third term at Subi. Longmuir jumped early, did well, got it out of the ruck. Kick to half forward, partly intercepted by Corrie, who's got the run of the football. He's got a couple to beat in the end. Boundary line, his friend. Throw in. Powers will be leading the game with 17 touches for the Dockers. Powers had 18, Ackermanis 16 for Brisbane. Longmuir down to Hazelby. Ripped off it by Lappin. Black at the bottom of that pack. Carr hovering over him and a bounce.
Interesting. Hazelby's trying to get away from Lappin. Carr's tagging Lappin. Hazelby's trying to get to Black, and Black's trying to get to Pavlich. Have a look at them going. There's about 4. There's a train of 4 around this ball, just following it to the left there on the screen.
Congo line. Walker. In tight space, finds Polak.
He's going all right, isn't he?
So the Dockers will go inside 50 in this third term and find Simmons. It's a nice luxury from the Hab at the moment. They've got Longmuir on the ruck and Simmons up forward to stretch the Brisbane defence, which is minus Mel Michael. He's got some sort of quad problem. Medhurst leads. Simmons is worried about his footing, getting the photographers out of the way. Kicked behind in the second term from about 15 metres out directly in front. Troy Simmons has a good record across the course of the season. He's kicked 15-3.
We go along to the square here. Pavlich could be a good target.
Fading across the goal face. Through for a minor score. 16 points the margin. There's Mel Michael. Not looking too confident after a rigorous half-time workout.
Leppich always in best position opposed to Polak there. He's grabbed by the leg. Nothing doing it right half back. Corrie's run up the ground on centre wing if Leppich just wants to have a look out wide. He's looking inboard. Corrie's just camped on centre wing, still on his own. That's what's ahead of him. Powers loose in the middle of the ground. Now Leppich goes down the line. McFarlane just so good in that situation. Shoulder to shoulder, marks it easy. Now, what a problem here. Bell's got it to Gilmore. Great tackle from Ackermanis. McFarlane slips the tackle of Adcock. Back to Gilmore, back to McFarlane. Get it out of here, Luke! He runs to the centre. Kick. Heavens for that. Inside 50. Leppich goes hard. Player down. Medhurst. Again, thought he got some attention off the ball. Nothing doing towards centre wing. Notting, Hart, Copeland, Voss, Brisbane, inside 50, no. He's just having one of those days. He's not covering the ground at all well, Michael Voss.
Just wonder whether it's one of those weeks where that knee tendonitis is giving him a bit of hell. As we mentioned, it's the third road trip in 4 weeks. And there's no longer one in football than the trip over here to Perth.
Cook There is McFarlane on his defensive 50. Hadrill long way down on centre wing. Simmons the lead. Good spoil from Shattuck. Farmer goes to ground. Ackermanis to Lappin. To Hart. Again, a chain of hand passes. He's got a couple out wide. It's interesting from Lappin. There's Voss. Has to go hard. Probably herded up by Grover. Ackermanis just keeps on running now. He's in this contest, Ackermanis, on half forward. If he receives the handball, he does. Just runs so hard. Left foot, up and under. Pratt up. Doesn't take the mark. Ball spills. Gilmore, gather. Last line of defence, Parker. Didn't travel the required distance to Walker to Hayden. McFarlane slow to get up behind play. Too much on that handball for Hazelby, but he's good enough to slip the original tackle. Then he's swung again to Hayden to Cook. Now, they just can't break away here, Fremantle, but they've opened up a loose man in Woods. Simmons is offering the long lead. Woods, he's got himself into a spot, grabbed by the leg. In the end, it was a pretty good tackle from Lepage. But gee, they're not confident going forward, Fremantle, Peter Wilson.
He's very hesitant to get a long ball at the moment. Fremantle just got to look up a little harder.
Woods goes towards Simmons. It goes out of bounds, and it's something that we've noticed a couple of times here at Subiaco this season. The first sort of 5 to 10 minutes after half-time can be a little bit flat. Reasonably warm, sunny conditions.
Beautiful day. Beautiful day. Look at the sky.
Longmuir the tap. Down to Lappin. Around the body. Bounce. Hart slapped it down to the advantage of Lepage. Too slow. Run down by Bell. Had Cock over the top of it. Numbers at the back here for the Dockers. Walker to Cook. And now Carr inboard. Looks up. Will go long. Farmer at the front. Fremantle's best chance. Almost reeled it in. And we'll get a free kick for being held. So Jeff Farmer, 2 behinds this afternoon. He's been a little frustrated at times. And we'll go back from about 35 metres out, more or less directly in front.
Simple game as Australian rules football. They were mucking around with the football on the wing for a good 30, 40 seconds, chipping it around. Matthew Carr's got hold of it, stuck his boot into it, covered 55 metres. Opportunity comes forward for the Fremantle forwards.
As Michael Voss comes off to be replaced by Richard Hadley. Reid will keep an eye on the Brisbane champion. Ball is with Jeffrey Farmer. And he converts. Farmer gets his first. The lead back out to 22 points in favour of the Dockers. Important opening goal. It took 6.5 minutes in this third term to come. But again, it sets the tone. It puts Fremantle back out to a 22-point lead. If Brisbane had got it, the margin would have been back to 10 points. And it would have been really very much a case of game on. If the Dockers can just keep a bit of distance between themselves and Brisbane in this second half, they'll feel confident they'll be able to run them down.
Yeah, spot on, Jace. It's all it needs.
Farmer's first. He's working hard. Michael Voss receiving treatment. Mel Michael. Clark Keating's out of action. Walking wounded. The Lions, 22 points the margin. Cook to half forward. Farmer. Pavlich underneath it. Oh, trouble, gone, holding the ball. Shattuck was going at half rap power on that occasion.
He just looked up and just had nowhere to go. An ordinary day, only 4 touches for the day as well. What a great tackle. You love to see that from your forwards. Just keeping the ball within your forward 50, giving themselves opportunities. Coaches love this.
Simmons, be aided by the left boot. Distance shouldn't be a problem from 50. He's missed. They are doing all the attacking, and you just sense, now Voss off the ground, that there's some problems here, and there's Shattuck. slow to get rid of that ball and penalised. Lockie Reid, boundary side.
Well, Tim, Michael Voss came off the ground. Didn't look too serious, but then as he was getting a bit of work from the physio, complained of a sore hamstring, his right hamstring. Doesn't look too bad, but the physio is at work right now.
23 points the margin. The question being asked of Brisbane once again. Copeland, a thumping kick. Longmuir almost dragged it in. Still alive at ground level for Pavlich. Can go back to Longmuir, off a step. He's got a couple of men inside 50. It hangs a long time. Hazelby, eyes on the football with courage.
I would expect no less from Paul Hazelby. Spoken about how strong he is overhead for a little man.
He's kicked one in the opening term of this game. 5 goals, 10 for the season. So if there's been one downside to Paul Hazelby's game, which has otherwise been outstanding, it's probably been his conversion in front of goal. A chance to extend that lead a little bit further. The elastic band starting to stretch for the Brisbane Lions. Hazelby from 55. It's going to fall short. Polak off hands. Power there to tidy up and rushes through for a minor score.
Still can't get over Aussie rule supporters boo the opposition when they rush a point through. So they're scoring for your team and they boo them.
And cheer it when it's done at the other end for their team. It's a harsh game. Copeland will go short. To McGrath. Now back to Copeland again as Brisbane look to work it out. Now some problems. Bell will waltz in. They don't get any easier than that. And that one stings. Bit of a wrestle in the goal square. Troy Simmons coming to let Robert Copeland all about it. Now the Dockers have stretched it out to 30 points, the biggest lead of the game.
There's Troy. Said to Robert, would you like to dance? He's not in the mood, because that was very, very ordinary. You very rarely see that on such a good player, but there's no doubt a little look over the shoulder, and the shadow was coming off the stand of Seviova.
Peter Bell celebrates his second goal. Robert Copeland commiserates after losing the footy. And that is a turnover, and that is costly. It's all on the line for Brisbane here. They are under enormous pressure. Hazelby goes forward inside 50. Shattuck. It's the boundary line. He was quick to get rid of it this time.
Another situation where you think Fremantle are starting to dominate the game of football. Every time we've seen that so far, Brisbane just pegged their way back into it.
So much more of the ball, double the amount of possessions. They're going to go again. Oh, get out of my way, Troy, said Gilmore. Unhappy Gilmore with that, just to mind the score across the face of goal. We've got 11.5 minutes, margin out to 31 points. And you believe he was unlucky to be out of the side, Daniel Gilmore. Then he came back into the side for Troy Longmuir, who many believe was unlucky to be out of the side for Gilmore to come back into the side.
Unlucky.
So Chris Connolly playing rotations on the ground and plays them in and out of the side as well.
McGrath goes towards Bradshaw and he marks defensive 50.
Just nothing on offer for Bradshaw.
Plenty of advice on offer from the Freo fans. High ball to the wing. Nodding the man presenting himself, but never really a chance to mark that. Throw in. Brisbane just run out of puff at the start of this third term. Freo have upped the ante. So far the Lions unable to go with them. Bradshaw again. And Lappin. Under pressure from McManus, but got the hands free. Did well to Pike. Ackermanis can run on this ball. It sits for him. He runs to 65. Spears it inside looking for Johnson. It's slapped away by Parker. Here's Pratt. Taken down. Fantastic tackle. Ball still alive. Comes out to Adcock. He goes for home and misses.
Ackermanis was involved in that play from the bounce to the far side. He just keeps on running. He was involved in 4 contests.
They're a great counter-punching side, the Brisbane Lions. Just when they're looking for something, suddenly they can generate an opportunity from a stop play, reasonably innocuous on centre wing, and suddenly they're having a shot for goal 10 seconds later. Woods to the back pocket. This time it's the Dockers holding up play. You can see so many players down this line. It's a very heavy zone the Lions are playing at the moment. So Carr will thump it long. Polak in front, through his hands to Lepic. Now to Pike. High ball inside 50. Hadrill will get a run at it. Arrived late. Pratt couldn't bring it down. Notting peeling off the pack. No one to dish it off to. Goes backwards. Copeland's there. Ackermanis there as well. They link up from 55. The smother came from Gilmore. Danger passes for the Dockers, and now they can counter-attack. He's got 3 men running forward of the football. The kick had too much weight on it. It suited Corrie. Numbers still there for the Dockers, but that is an opportunity wasted. Lappin. Now to Corrie. Power. They run it forward through Hart. Over the top to Corrie. So many numbers already there for the Dockers. Power and Hart. They've turned it over. Polak nothing to kick to either. It's a scrappy passage of play. Lappin goes back, and now the Lions can try again from half back.
Yeah, both teams just camped across half back. Brisbane had a line of 4 or 5. And now it's Fremantle who are working the defence. Now, big fly. Good mark, Bradshaw. McFarlane came one way. Adcock was also involved. Now they've run into the pocket. Brennan's on his own. Should mark McFarlane back. Made a great contest over Luke McFarlane. Then went at it half-hearted in the end. Had to lift the rating. Did well in the end. Well done, Luke McFarlane. But cramp, that's probably why he was going not quite 100% in the chase for that ball after he got back brilliantly. Look at the courage. Pressured Brennan, then went past the footy. Had to lay a good tackle. Great play. Longmuir, Headland, across his own goal. Good vision. Spots up Simmons now. Next kick important. Gilmore provides the run. Wants to come back inside. Hazelby went down on one knee. Ducked underneath the tackle, but got one high. Comes up, rubbing the back of their head. High mark gets, was correct. This will be possession 21 by hand. Gilmore. Woods is running for this handball. Woods it over the top. Medhurst, hardly sighted in this quarter. Long kick. Well done, back with the flight. Lappin punches it through. It's a lovely long kick from Dion Woods when he gets a full head of steam up. And yes, Medhurst has been a little quiet in this half. Now, McFarlane is off.
There's Chris Connolly bringing the changes again. Longmuir also off. Clive Waterhouse coming on for a run.
It's a luxury that Lee Matthews does not have this afternoon, being able to rotate his big men. Long ball to the outer wing again. At the back of that contest, Brennan links up with Sean Hart, who does not stop running, to Pike. The veteran has it centre wing outer side. Dockers by 31 points. We played 16.5 minutes in the third term at Subiaco. Pike, a high ball inside 50. Hadrill out of mid-air. Plenty of players around this one. Parker farms it out to McManus. Hayden slipped away on the outer wing, can get it and go. He's got a man running inside. It's Hazelby. Decides to go himself. Further afield to Headland. The Dockers set up, forward to the centre. Headland will go long. Farmer and Medhurst both down there. Farmer's got it. Worked his man under it and runs into an open goal. 2 goals for the Wiz.
He's very good in this situation, Jeff Farmer. Just holds his position well. A little nudge, a la Luke McFarlane, who is a genius at it. Just making sure that he's got that opportunity. Nothing in that. Well and truly within the rules. Jeffrey Farmer does love a goal.
Dockers have cracked it wide open now. The margin out to 37 points as we approach time on in the third.
Jeff Farmer and Peter Bell have kicked the last 4 goals of the game. 37 points. Still plenty of time. Brisbane are going to have to call on all their championship qualities to hang in this game. Simmons, brilliant. To Headland. Corrie back. Under pressure. Stolen by Pavlich. Bending. Matthew Pavlich, just his 5th kick for the day. Good sign when the team leads by 38 points and one of your prime movers has just had 7 disposals. There's a bit of talent and a bit of experience and a premiership success on the bench. Now, it was an ordinary kick off the boot, but it's landed in the arms of Power to Lappin. This is where they're breaking down. Woods, ricochet. Here is Lappin. Go back and get it. Gilmore stood there. Got it back to Pavlich, to Polak. Here's Woods running. He's starting to get some dash going. Dion Woods looks up. Didn't quite strike it that well. Into the pocket. Medhurst. He will want to play on because that's what he does. Stands off a step. Looks up. What's the face of goal? Can't argue with him. Doesn't always come off. He's tried to kick one to Farmer earlier in the second quarter. Didn't quite find its target. And again, that to McManus. But he has kicked 5 goals. As Voss is warming up and trying to come back on. Farmer off.
Placed by Troy Cook. Simmons in the ruck. Got it down in the Pavlich direction. Brennan. Indiscriminate handball. Simmons tries to keep it alive and does so to Medhurst. 6 of the best for Paul. Well, they're making their advantage really count now, the Fremantle Dockers. Brisbane gallant through the first half. We wondered how long they could hang in the game for. And in this term, it's Justin Leppich, another line to go down. The Dockers have come out and kicked 4 goals, 6. That's 10 scoring shots to 1 behind to the Brisbane Lions.
They'll be lucky they have any players left.
Mercy rule.
Medhurst, 6 goals. Justin Leppich, the latest line to go down.
Just ran into the backside of Medhurst and we bent over to get the footy.
10 scoring shots to 1 in this third term. 4 goals, 6 to 1 behind in favour of the Dockers. And they've taken a 15-point half-time lead and blown it out now to 44 points. Let's take another look. There's late contact. He may have just given himself a corky running into Medhurst's hip there. Brisbane's woes continue. Simmons out of the ruck. 4 centre clearances to 0 in this term as the Dockers big men start to really take control of the game. Hayden. Cook flashed across your screen. Copeland got boot to ball quickly. Tumbles it out into the path of Power. Grover there as well. And a throw in. Dockers certainly making their advantage in terms of fit men count in this term.
Continues to work hard. Luke Power. Really, the numbers are dwindling for Brisbane in this game of football.
There's Leppich still proppy. Brennan now in the ruck, hopelessly outsized against Simmons. Hart gave it to Black. Tumbles it inside 50. Johnson's been mercurial up forward this afternoon with limited chances. Hadley. Pratt tries to slap it on. It's still there for Pike. Wrestling with Grover, taken down by Woods. Ball up, 15 metres out from the Brisbane goal.
Johnson must have been unlucky. He had that ball a long time.
Mentioned the dominance of the Fremantle big men, and it really is becoming more and more apparent the longer the game goes on. Polak off, replaced by Shammer. Again, Simmons allowed to do pretty much what he likes out of that ruck contest. Got it to McManus. He's got some time and space. Looks up. Waits for an option. Goes long to the wing. Pavlich's target. And the big man doesn't let him down.
Strong mark.
We're all starting to get some of it. Yep, they're getting some of it now. 44 points to margin. There's a blowout on the cards if they're not careful, Brisbane. They've got too much pride for that. McManus. Too easy. Got a shepherd from Waterhouse, mind you. A good one on Ackermanis. Lappin back, has to defend. Didn't take the mark.
Free kick.
It's against Medhurst. They push on McGrath.
Yeah, it's got away with a couple of the little pushes. Farmer, but not this one.
Corrie. To Copeland. Brennan marks. Spent a lot of time on the bench. Quite strike it that well, but almost landed in the arms. Interesting handball from Woods. If it was one, Walker, Grover. The Brisbane players standing behind this contest. In fact, 3 or 4 just jogging behind it. They're gone. They're out of gas. Headland to McManus. To centre half forward. Looks up. Pavlich will be the target. Pavlich in best position. Big, strong, classy. Goal!
Just a great choice. Just a great choice from Sean McManus. Just looked up, had options. Medhurst on the lead. This has been great for Fremantle today because they've had options to look at time and time again. But he's gone long, banged it to Big Pav. Speaking of the devil, young Medhurst coming off for a break. So Fremantle very lucky today because they've had option after option going into their forward line, which has been lacking for the last couple of weeks.
Matthew Pavlich gets his first. Well, in boxing terms, the Brisbane Lions have been fighting out of their weight division. In the first half, they managed to grapple, they managed to hang in. But in this third term, the Dockers have started to land a few telling blows, and the Brisbane defence is starting to fall. Copeland out of the middle. Tumbles it towards centre half forward. Punch came from Hadrell. Pratt at ground level tried to crash through, couldn't take it with him. Bradshaw to Power from just inside 50. Sprays it wide and out of bounds on the full. The Dockers, to their credit, didn't get frustrated and came out in the third term and really put the foot down. And they're running some players back into some very good form this afternoon. After a couple of flat weeks from the Fremantle side, their work rate and endeavour has been right on song from the opening bounce this afternoon. Cook to Headland to half forward. That'll suit Lepic, and he picks it off. Carr arrives late. Lepic not happy with that additional attention. 4.5 minutes remaining until three-quarter time. It's been all Fremantle. The switch is on. Shattuck pushes wide to McGrath. Simon Black off, replaced by Voss. Quite a couple of quarters from Simon Black. Pratt. Back to McGrath. High ball. A contest at 50. Woods went early. Gave away a free kick. So the ball is with Notting. It's about 60 metres out from goal. Voss back on. He leads short. Ignored.
Well, they've got to get a player on the lead here because they don't have a player in their forward line and actually take anything special overhead outside Johnson, who's the smallest player they have in their forward line.
Well, there's no tall timber to go to at the moment, that's for sure.
Fair run up he's taken too.
Can hoof a football, Tim Notting. Trying to go the journey from here. 55 out. Gives it a big ride. No problems with the distance. It's almost there. Through for a behind. So devoid of options at the moment, the Brisbane Lions up forward. We're so used to seeing big bodies like Lynch, Brown and Bradshaw patrolling that forward 50 and just dominating, providing, presenting, giving options. This afternoon, it's the likes of Johnson and Martin Pike in their makeshift forward line. Undersized and outnumbered. The ball's with Grover at defensive 40. High ball with the wing. Pavlich is in the mix. Lappin floats over the back of the contest. Umpire said he was held, and he'll take a free kick. Centre wing as we count down to three-quarter time. It's the Dockers by 49 points.
Well, they're going to have to go sideways or backwards again, looking for an option. Again, there's no target.
He does go back to Lepic, and he could go right across the other side to Shattuck. In fact, he looks up and he's sort of intending to change direction. Now, McManus is caught between a rock and a hard place. He had to go with Pratt, and that allowed Shattuck to get off him. They haven't advanced the ball that far. They just changed the side of the ground they're on. Here is Johnson. He's providing a bit of run now. He's played on. Ran off his mark. Looks up, goes to centre half forward. Here's Notting. As we said, he can kick a long ball. Goes by hand to Pike. Give it back, Martin. Notting wanted it back. Hadley, was he held? He's over the ball. Hadrell. Ball up. Lucky Reid reports that it's 16 degrees. It's very frosty, blue sky, and the lights are on. You know how to make a man suffer. Here is Lappin, hand pass to Voss, to Ackermanis, left foot. Clive is back. Last line of defence, Clive. He's found his niche. Woods to Bell. His springboard in defence, Clive Waterhouse. Down the line, Farmer.
Yeah, well, it's at 50. Very close to it.
Come around on his mark, Jeff Farmer. Corrie stands the mark. Margin 49 points, 90 seconds to go. Hadrell comes off, Polak comes on. 252 disposals to 212, inside 50s, 46 to 29.
Interesting picture at the moment. There's only two players in a forward 50 or back 50 for any club. That's Fremantle. Fremantle have no one in their forward 50. Everyone is in the middle of the ground.
Woods has been very good in this third quarter. Running off half-back, Walker. There's Clive doing it at both ends. Bell. Farmer. What a push. Oh dear, Hadley threw down Farmer. Jeff comes off the ground, Medhurst comes on. Farmer looks up and goes to Polak. Time for the Dockers. They're going the right way. They're going forward. Polak short to Grover. Hayden's running hard. Pavlich is now leading towards forward 50. Grover says, I'll go to the long option. Not a great kick. Copeland will mark and run the clock down, maybe Brisbane. Voss spent a lot of time off the ground, receiving treatment on the tight hamstring. Maybe Brisbane can squeeze one out. A goal, that is, just before three-quarter time. Good kick, good vision, and Ackermanis under a pressure from Grover. Looks up, off a step. Pike marks. 10 seconds to go, so Martin Pike has a chance to kick the first goal for Brisbane in 30 minutes of play in this quarter. They've added just 2 points. Fremantle have added 5 goals, 6.
The greatest kick in the world by Ackermanis, but had the presence of mind and where the clock is and what the time is in this quarter. Got it on very, very quickly. Martin Pike.
Haven't kicked a goal since Luke Power, 29-minute mark of the second quarter. Pike. Right on three-quarter time. Steers it home, Martin Pike, for his second and Brisbane's ninth, and they needed that.
Dominant quarter of football from the Fremantle Dockers. They've taken control of this game. Come out after half-time. Slammed on 5 goals, 6 to 1 goal, 2. They led by 14 points at quarter-time, 15 at half-time. And the margin now at the final change is 43 points. Fremantle 15-14, 104. The Lions 9-7, 61. Set to go in the final term at Subiaco. It's the Fremantle Dockers leading by 43 points. Justin Longmuir in the ruck. And Daniel Bradshaw, to his credit, keeps on rucking this afternoon. Lappin tumbles it inside 50. Socket off the ground by Hadrell. Worked beautifully. Headland takes the mark. 13th touch for Des Headland coming up. Decides to chip it short over the top. Hung a while in the air. Hayden able to take the mark just before Luke Power arrived. Goes by hand now, Grover. 70 metres out from goal. Goes to the top of the square. Clive's there, the crowd roar. At ground level, Notting in best position for Brisbane. Can flip it over the top to Voss. Michael Voss, with his 13th touch, finds Brennan on the overlap to Sean Hart. Johnson leads. It's the only man inside 50 for Brisbane. There was too much on the kick. Johnson might beat his man back there. He's got Parker and McFarlane to beat. McFarlane got boot to ball. Johnson still going. Now the cavalry arrives. It's Pike. Thought about the give. Gives it to Ackermanis, and Brisbane miss in the end. It was a good effort to get a shot for goal in those circumstances because they were outnumbered. They hung in there, did the hard work, but in the end, Acker off one step.
Well, the work from Johnson, though, to keep inside that contest, fantastic. When you get Parker and McFarlane, who are very, very quick.
Peter Bell with the kick-in duties, and they might be relieved very quickly. That was a pretty poor effort. Voss into the pocket. Barely travelled the required distance, that pass from Power. Voss has taken the mark, and Brisbane, as you mentioned, Jason, appear to be rolling the dice one last time. On a plea from the coach at three-quarter time. Too much pride in this Lions outfit. Michael Voss. Steely glare. Off the ground for some time. This is kick number 6 from the champ. Great kick. Great start for Brisbane. Is there something left in the tank?
inspirational, this guy. If he's got a hamstring, the way he followed through kicking that goal, there's nothing wrong with the right leg, I can tell you that, because that is just picture perfect what Michael Voss has done here in this position. He's taking any of the elements out of it, and he has punished that football. It's gone straight through the middle.
Bit of tightness for Michael Voss's hamstring in that third term. So he's had a bit of work on it, relieved some of that tension. Margin back to 6 goals. It's 15-14 to 10-8. Michael Voss with his first goal of the afternoon. 2.5 minutes gone. Final term. Longmuir again with another hit out. Shammer to run onto it. Confronted by Brad Scott, then crunched by Voss. Two of the toughest bodies in the game. Byron Shammer will get up fielding that one.
Well, he's copped a few lately. Guerra gave him a beautiful knock here a couple of weeks ago as well. So the tough boys have a go at it.
And he plays around this contest once again. Longmuir as far as Corrie, and now Brad Scott towards Pike. Awkward bounce for him. Had to go in the end. Suited McManus. Look up. Tumble a kick towards half forward. It's all Brisbane there though. And Copeland takes the mark. Wants to go laterally to Lappin. He's now got Corrie working into space down this member's side. Pushes forward to Hart. Centre wing. He looks up. Lots of numbers back across. Half back for the Fremantle Dockers. So he has to wax with Corrie once again. He can now push up further down the line to Notting. He wants to take them on himself. Runs away from Headland and Shammer. High ball inside 50. Pike caught too far back off this contest. In the end, it was too easy for Justin Longmuir. Uncontested mark at centre half back. Fremantle now switch to the outer side and find Cook. Over the top to Hazelby. McManus is pushed down the line. Instead he goes inboard to Walker and he takes the mark. Plays on, runs away from Black. Towards centre half forward. Clive in the best position, couldn't bring it down at ground level. The whiz there in support. Links up now with Waterhouse. He's got Corrie to beat. Corrie did well, put his body over the ball, but still alive. McGrath comes dashing through. Links up with Copeland and Brisbane are away from half back.
The next kick will be interesting. Pratt had ruled too easy because Freo just had numbers at this football. That's not great from Hazelby. Pratt looks up, goes short to Johnson. Open forward line to Ackermanis from 55, left foot, open goal square. Brennan running back with the flights. Too much on it, it's cleared the line. A bounce, a throw in. Hayden comes off and Ackermanis. Possession 25.
Too sure if that's not a throw in today's game.
Well, he's been penalised 4 times today, if it is, because he's done it about 4 times, but it's part of his tricks. Ackermanis slow to get up behind play. Bell down the line. Brisbane are having a crack. Good mark. A push as well there, Farmer from Corrie. Still Ackermanis slow to get up. He has worked himself into the ground. Walk up to Hazelby. Leading possession getter for Fremantle. No surprise there. The ball pitched. Now Clive's in the pocket, Justin. You've just got a hand pass it to him. Clive on 50. Looks up. Good vision. Heard and saw the lead from Medhurst. And he wastes no time here, Medhurst. Interesting kicking. He puts the mouth guard in. He picks up the ball. He doesn't mess about. He's reducing his time over the footy and set shots. He's gathered the ball now. He's got himself together, and this will be for goal number 7. He's got it. 7 for Paul Medhurst.
Very good return to form for Paul Medhurst, who, along with his tag team partner and Jeff Farmer, have really been under the acid here in Perth to lift their performances. And what a great way to respond to your critics with a equaling best haul for Medhurst here at Sudio.
Margin out to 42 points, 7 minutes gone, final term.
vindicated this man's decision to keep them both in the side. A lot of pressure this week, and he had to come out and defend his forwards, Medhurst and Fun, and kicked 9 goals between them.
Longmuir in the middle has enjoyed his time in the ruck this afternoon without a recognised opponent. Cook to half forward. Lepic with body strength. Muscled Polak off it and slapped it forward to Voss. Now to Brad Scott. He's got Ackermanis forward of the ball. Uses him now. Wants to step inside Gilmore and does. Squares it up to Lappin. Again, great vision. Lappin dropped what he should have taken. Can go back and win it again for Brisbane through traffic. Brilliant to Pratt. Black tries to keep it going as well. Brennan with the one-handed trick. Now to Power. From 48 metres, Luke Power tugs it across the face and through for a behind. And once again, we see the Brisbane Lions somehow managing to keep the ball alive. And all looks lost in their forward 50.
He's very happy the way Brennan likes to play the game a bit like Michael Jordan.
Hadrell. Short to Grover. Grover now to McFarlane. Woods, look out. Stepped through the Johnson tackle and gave it to Hazelby. His 26 touch coming up. Now Cook, he's run down by Power. It's a bit messy at the moment. Good commitment. Ackermanis. And now Pike. It was a good effort in there from Brennan to knock it forward to Acker.
Amazing how much he gets onto his left side, Jason Ackermanis, knowing he's a dominant right footer. Most players go to his right side to protect. That's why they very rarely get a hand on him, because he always seems to shape to his right and use his left. Been dominant on his left side today.
Martin Pike has kicked 2 goals. Again, just bobs up and does his job under the radar. Right on 50, on its way. That is a beautiful kick off the boot. Carries the line. And Martin Pike has 3 goals for the Brisbane Lions.
Interesting move. Bradshaw coming to the bench when you're lacking tools in the ruck. Not too sure how you can afford to have Bradshaw coming off.
He's just spent, I'd suggest, Peter. He's played at full forward or centre-half back most of his career, and to be thrown into the ruck as a full-time 100% ruckman from early in the game, he's done well, I think, to probably run it out this long, hasn't he?
Well, Tim Notting looks like he could be the knock ruckman.
At 188 centimetres, Tim Notting.
3 goals to Pike and Power.
Tim Notting debuting in his first ruck game.
And lost it hands down to Simmons. Shammer to Grover to half forward.
Looking at the scoreboard, you just have to suggest that the courage shown by the Brisbane Lions to hang into a game of football here with so many players on the sideline and injured is inspirational.
Simmons, again, clearly over the top. Fend off from Bell to Walker. Strong tackle, Power. There is Simon Black. Slaps it on the boot. Roved by Pratt. He's given a target. He's been OK, Pratt, in his first game. Hand pass from Johnson to Acker. From 45, just didn't bend it back enough. And that is possession 28. And he's 13 times brought the ball inside 50. 17 handball receives. 4 marks. He is just top quality. Speaking of quality, Hazelby rests on the bench. Polak and Longmuir. And Jason Ackermanis has just been superb today. And the losing side, you dare say, get close to racking up the 3 Brownlow votes. Grover to Pavlich, who's now just back on the ground. Lepic coming one way. Collision. Cork thigh. Lepic, 7 goals to Paul Medhurst. And there is Ackermanis and Hazelby and Power. Some class at the top of that disposal list. Shammer, straight down his throat from Simmons. He's enjoying this, Simmons. Clive just pushed off and then dropped the chest mark. Did all the hard work. Heard it was. I was all part of the plan.
Not too sure if that was.
Wasn't in the script.
Been a long time since I've seen a game of AFL football. You see one of your utility players having to pitch hit in the ruck.
Big ask for Tim Notting, 188 centimetres and 87 kilos. It's about the best they've got left at the moment. Power went looking for Hart. Desperation from Farmer and Hayden. Ball still alive somehow, right beside the boundary line. The umpire will come in and ball it up. Brisbane Lions lost Craig McRae as a late withdrawal. They lost Clark Keating early in the game with a shoulder injury. Mel Michael with a quad injury. Since that time, Daniel Bradshaw has been carrying the ruck duties gallantly, but just has run out of puff in this last quarter. Now Tim Notting with the job as the first ruckman. Simmons the tap. Players piling on top and another bounce. 34 points the margin. As Peter Wilson mentioned, it really could have been a lot more. Many sides would have shut up shop, marked it down as a loss, and possibly copped a smacking, but the Brisbane Lions have just kept trying all afternoon. Byron Shammer. Cook taken to the line by Power. Illegal, he said the umpire, got into his back. Free kick to Troy Cook. Wants to move it quickly inside 50. Medhurst lurking at the back of the contest. It spills there now, but diving in over the top was Shattuck. Pavlich wraps him up. And a ball up 40 metres out from the Fremantle goal. Paul Medhurst with 7 goals for the Dockers, 2 each to Bell and Farmer. While for Brisbane, Luke Power and Martin Pike have 3 apiece. Simmons over the back. As far as Corrie, who spirals one into open space on the outer side. Walker got a horrendous bounce. McManus controlled it well. Back inside 50 to Clive. 35 metres out, tight angle. Kicked one in the opening term. Coming up for possession number 7.
Jeffrey Farmer at it once again.
Here comes Clive. Its way. Sailing across the goal face and through for a minor score. Clive Waterhouse, a late inclusion this afternoon for Aaron Sandilands. Really, from Chris Connolly's perspective, couldn't have worked out better that Brisbane lost Clark Keating. Hadley to Lepic, just pushed off Pavlich and took the mark backward to centre wing.
Off a step to half forward. Brennan will be the flyer. Great vertical leap. So is the man he's playing on, Dion Woods. Slam dunk of basketball, Dion Woods. Voss into the pocket. Pike opened it up for Power. Luke Power bending, kick needs the off break, gets nothing in the end. Just tantalisingly dribbles across the line.
That was the arm ball.
For Doosra.
He needed Hadley to be on the scene. Hadrill to Parker. Still plenty of time for something to happen in this game. So Freo will win it, but Brisbane, they did come hard at West Coast back on round 4. Late in the game, Pavlich to Clive again. He's a target. Played on. Runs in. Brilliantly, Clive. Two goals to Clive Waterhouse. Margin back out to 40 points. Clive's enjoying his time. Pavlich has got better as the game's gone on.
And so I think a lot of these Fremantle players would now be hoping to really push themselves into some form here. The opposition has died off.
Marching out to 40 points. Clive has 2. And Matthews still working the phone. So we hit 16.5 minutes in the final term. Simmons again. Surprisingly wins the hit out. Hazelby. Cook out of mid-air. High ball, won't be a mark. Through the back of the contest. Shammer holding off the contest. It's going to Brisbane Lions. It's coming back to Anthony Corrie. Crowd don't realise it yet, but they will. Ball with Anthony Corrie, playing his 5th game of league football, originally from Nightcliff in the Northern Territory. Looking up to 44 in the 2002 draft. Made his debut on this ground in round 4 against the Eagles. Goes laterally to Brad Scott. Wants to link up with Shattuck and does now. Not much to kick to, hence the hesitation. Voss was pushing up the wing, but Carr's got him covered. So they go back to Scott, and now Corrie again. Now they've got a man free fall to the ball. It's Lappin. He goes inside 50. Wood should cut this off and does. Lions have run out of juice after half-time. The Fremantle Dockers have powered on. Pavlich to Parker. Short kick, pulled it up beautifully to Clive. So Waterhouse has its centre wing over the top to Hazelby. Knox up getting football again this afternoon. Power over the top, fisted it away from Medhurst. Farmer lurking at ground level, swings around onto the right boot. Medhurst in the square, was eyeing off a career best 8, might still have it. Tries to dance around Power, taken down, gives it off to Shammer. Headland lining up, here comes Boss. And the Lions do well to force a ball up when it looked like a certain goal for the Fremantle Dockers. Went through 4 or 5 pairs of hands. The Lions eventually shut it down. Ball up, 30 metres out from the Fremantle goal. Longmuir gets it down to Bell, through traffic to Pavlich. He can bend it around on the right boot. It's bending too far. What a score.
Well, they're just all lining up for an opportunity at Fremantle at the moment. Again, all the players very much orientated towards one end of the ground.
Lepic thumps it backhander, but just was a number of Dockers players who wanted that loose ball. Walker was one of them. Justin Longmuir shows some dash to Headland. Longmuir's down behind play. Headland inside 50 to the goal square. Medhurst, Copeland, Medhurst, left foot, snap, goal, 8! There's the career best! Medhurst, big day out! Just the third Fremantle player to kick 8 or more in a game. John Hutton kicked 8 back in 95. And of course, Modra holds the record for 10. He needed it. He needed a big bag. And he's responded brilliantly. Paul Medhurst.
Two goals in the opening term to Paul Medhurst, 3 in the second term, 1 in the third and 2 in the fourth. 8 for the day as Jeff Farmer comes off. Margin 47 points. Approaching time on in the final term. In fact, we've just clicked into time on. Siren can't come soon enough for the Brisbane Lions. Power gives it up to Headland. Dockers have certainly got the scent of blood in the water. Adcock. Run out with Bell. Copeland arrives. Hazelby takes him down. Dockers hunting in numbers at the moment. Chris Conley was imploring them at 3/4 time to really go on with it. They've certainly maintained their appetite in the final term. Hazelby up to 29 touches now. Voss slaps it forward only as far as Walker. Inside 50 again. Medhurst might be thinking about 10. McGrath taken down by Medhurst, making no attempt to get rid of it, and gone.
This will be interesting. 2 players.
Medhurst is racing. Look at him. He's trying to rip it out of the hands of Brad Scott.
I have no doubt. They've both put their hand up, Pavlich and Medhurst. And all the umpire will just have to say, well, who gets it?
Medhurst has just insisted. He's just gone and taken it.
50 metres.
Just to make certain of it.
I'm not too sure if they need any more help for him.
This for number 9. Paul Medhurst into uncharted territory. Three goals in the final term to Paul Medhurst as Peter Bell, their wonderful captain, comes from the ground. Another hard-working effort, 23 touches, 6 clearances and 2 goals for him this afternoon. Troy Simmons replaces him.
And we always look for a little bit of interest in a game now. And we'll all be barracking for the football to go forward for Fremantle, just to have some entertainment of someone kicking 10.
Round 10, 1999, Tony Modra 10 against Melbourne for Medhurst. The best by a docker at Subiaco Oval with 9 goals. And still plenty of time for him to get into double digits. Ackermanis soccers it to half forward. Gilmore will want to come inside, went through his legs, party trick, didn't work. Ackermanis, volleyball down to Voss, heard the voice Black, some class there. Simon Black goes in, strolls in and misses. Had Luke Power pleading for the ball 15 metres out for goal. It was nice from Brisbane, cameo closing stages. Margin 52 points. See Lockie Reed warming up to get to Paul Medhurst. Johnson. Ackermanis just knocks up, trying. Past Parker, swung him in the tackle. They've just got numbers. Hazelby, possession 31 to Gilmore. Had a very good third quarter. Kicks towards centre wing to Scott. Tough day, part of the Lions defence, which has been under siege. Strong tackle, ball spills. Again, Hazelby just does so much. Now, the Dockers runners collided with Pratt off the ball. They're okay. Hazelby's had enough. He's coming off, Paul Hazelby. Will come off with 31 disposals. That's the man they want to kick the ball to. Pavlich, spoiled by Corrie. McManus, underneath the tackle. Grover. And Bill Smith wants that ball over the fence. Didn't quite find the target from Anthony Grover. It's Corrie. It's a touch of cramp in the foreground. Marked by Polak. It's going to go back into the Medhurst country. Simmons in front of Lepic. Kick a long ball, Troy Simmons.
Some players say they don't know how many goals they've kicked him. And tipping, Paul Medhurst realises he's got 9.
And
he'd be
expecting he'd be saying to his teammates now, get out of the 50, give me an opportunity. Not too sure the Brisbane boys will take any notice of that, though.
You would also know he's had 14 kicks, 2 handballs, 7 marks, kicked 9-1, 3 handball receives for a total of 16 disposals. He's a man of stats, Paul Medhurst. He loves the game, loves the history of the game. He was a latecomer to the AFL and he's delivered on the big stage today. Simmons, no problems with the distance. A little hook, make that a big hook. He's missed the lot. Three points for Simmons.
McGrath, the resultant free kick in the back pocket. Lepic and Simmons. Brennan over the top with that vertical leap, free kick in the back. It's going Brisbane's way. Gets Simmons to Lepic.
Yeah, just a hand on the shoulder there. Trying to steady himself.
Just over 3 minutes remaining. Lepic. McGrath again at centre half back. Breakers onto the outer side. Shattuck and Medhurst. Go to ground. Medhurst first to recover. Slaps it backwards to Walker. Now Carr. Import to Headland. Cook at the back. Inside 50. Here's the whiz. Trots to 40. And joins the party. 3 goals for Jeff Farmer. It's really blown out since half-time. Fremantle Dockers have kicked 10 goals, 8 to the Brisbane Lions. 3 goals, 7. Margin now out to 58 points. Jeffrey Farmer kicks his 3rd.
And coming off the bench too. Very opportune time for Jeffrey to come on.
Three goals for Farmer. 9 for Medhurst. Kicked 12 under enormous pressure this week. So too Chris Connolly, constantly defending the pair. I'm tipping he'll have a little bit to say, or he might not. That might be the best answer of all in the post-match press conference. Will make for interesting viewing. McManus, it's in that area again. Farmer doesn't take the mark. Polak, he's getting in on the act. It's a floater. Medhurst clears the line. Everyone's cheering. I think Chris Collins would be happy also with Medhurst's commitment on the wing a couple of minutes ago, where he forced the spoil, then knocked it back to McManus. It's just another little thing in his game. Here's Scott. 2 minutes to go. It's about here where the ball just has been rebounding back, and it might happen again. It's just not concise and precise. Ackermanis, you can boo him all you like, but he's a genuine champion, and he's been the best player for Brisbane by the length of the straight today. There he is again. He just keeps on running. Awesome player. Into the pocket. Hadrill. Banana kick. Good vision around the corner. Now they've camped on the wing here. Fremantle. Walker. He's got Gilmore if he wants to use him. Decides to go short to Simmons. Medhurst is in the pocket. That's the direction the kick takes. Medhurst on the lead, too far out to score. He'll want to play on. Does he step around? No. He's lost the ball. It's ricocheted. Almost hit him on the head. Knock it back, Gilmore. Oh, this will be brilliant. If it had a roof, would take it off here if he kicks this. Medhurst. He doesn't.
Minute to go. The interest now lies on can Paul Medhurst get his 10th.
Lepich around the outer wing. Longmuir and Lappin. Bottom of the docket.
One last chance. And here it comes.
Medhurst is lurking about 40 metres out from goal. Ball's now with Gilmore. Medhurst circling back towards the goal square. Standing there alongside the goal post with Ashley McGrath. Longmuir has it again. Doesn't lead, he hangs back. Clive comes out, couldn't take it. Adcock to Power. Chance might be lost. It's now to Corrie. Away to Pratt. Shattuck to Black. Pike one out inside 50. Mark taken by Hadrill. 10 seconds remaining. Short to Grover. Chip to Byron Shanna. He'll have the last possession of the game. Fremantle Dockers back on the winners list. Paul Medhurst with a career best 9 goals won. Fremantle 2017-137 defeat the gallant but undermanned Brisbane Lions 11-12-78. Lingering look from Lee Matthews, but what can you do when you run out of magnets on the magnetic board? And that's what happened to the Brisbane Lions this afternoon. Clark Keating, injury concern over his right shoulder, took no further part in the game, but one man who made the game his own, particularly after half-time, was Paul Medhurst, in front of 32,575, finished with a career best 9 goals. Here he is with Lockie Reed.
Well, Matt, as the coach backed you during the week, and you've repaid him beautifully.
Yeah, I was really happy Chris come out and got behind me and a couple of the other guys that are struggling, and just really focusing on paying back that faith today.
Did he ask for something special?
Nah, probably the opposite. He just asked for me to get back to the basics and do the sort of hard things, chasing and tackling, that type of thing, and he said the rest would come, and it did today.
Did you tell the boys just to get out of the 50-metre arc just so you could kick that 10? Did you know you were one off that record?
I'd be lying if I said I didn't. No, I didn't. It's a hard thing to do in our forward line because everyone's so potent, and you don't know if someone's going to bob up in the last 4 or 5 minutes and kick 4 or 5 themselves. So each to their own today, and happy I got a few on the board.
A fantastic win for the club. You've taken on the reigning champs, and you've done it beautifully.
Yeah, I mean, we're really focusing today on kicking a winning score because we've been disappointing in that area in the last couple of weeks, and today against a quality side we kicked a score that is going to win us a few games.
And Jeff Farmer was also under the pump. How do you think he went? He pulled up with 3 goals.
I thought he was really good. Our roles each week are changing. Sometimes we're close to goal, sometimes we're away, and today he had to do the crumbing and to end up with 3 goals, and today was really good effort.
Get some ice on that lip and enjoy yourself.
Thanks a lot.
Thought for a split second about kidding us that he didn't know he'd kicked 9 goals, but then he realised that wouldn't fly. A day of celebration for the Fremantle Dockers as they return to the winner's circle. Paul Medhurst finishing with a career best 9 goals. The Brisbane Lions were gallant as always. Never gave in, but just ran out of legs after half-time. Injury depleted once again. It was a day for the Dockers to savour. Fremantle 20 goals, 17-137. Defeat Brisbane 11-12-78.